All right, so the Rona happened and I was forced to work from home like a lot of you out there. And as a real estate agent, you know, you spend a lot of time in your office, whether you're calling prospects or you're doing paperwork. So I decided, had all this time, why not do an office makeover? You know, the president sent us some money, and just like most of America, I stimulated Lowe's. No, they're not paying me, I paid them. So this is what the office looks like now, and I'm gonna take you on a little inside look on how I did this, because I know I scoured Pinterest to find something similar and could not find it. So here's your tutorial. Plans of what I plan to do. All right, so I finished painting. So phase 2 of the office remodel has begun. I was originally gonna get kitchen cabinets, like the double one on the bottom with the drawer on top, but this is the same size and was half the price at Office Depot and has a ton more storage spaces with file cabinets, so it actually worked better in the office. So I have one for that side and a matching one for the other side. And then after that, we'll go to the shelves above. All right, so the next phase of the home renovation has begun. I started the shelving project. So first level is bookcase. So these are connecting here. Haven't connected them yet because I still got to stain these. That's what I'm doing tonight, staining all the boards. And then you can see where I marked off where, just like in the living room, the pipes are gonna come out and the boards are gonna sit on top of those, going all the way up the wall. And then when I get to that point, I'll show you that. But that's where we're at right now. I just drilled these into this. Yeah, and this, don't worry about it. I'll fix that later. But drilled these into here. Just got these at Lowe's. These are the more decorative ones that work for that. For the actual ones, same thing. I use theirs. You'll find them at Lowe's. Same thing we did in the living room. The metal pipes in the plumbing section. I'll show you when we get there. And these are just 48-inch stair treads that I'm just cutting to size, and then I stain them. All right, down here staining the boards. As you can see, I already started first coat. This is what we're using. Just knocked out the second coat. You gotta wait to see how I'm planning something for that top board. That top board gonna go all the way across, and I got plans. Just wait till you see what I got planned out for that. It's gonna be interesting. So I went back and forth on light and dark, put them in there, did a Facebook poll, an Instagram poll, talked to my wife, and originally I was leaning towards light. That's what my wife had said. Instagram poll and Facebook poll said dark. Well, I flipped it over to the other side and was gonna leave it light, and that 2 coats and that thing just went dark. So I don't know if, as I got to the bottom of the stain, it just took more or what. So now we're just going full dark. I like it. I do like the dark. It's a dark room. It should have enough light coming in, though, that it should be okay. Now I'm just waiting on the rest of the parts from Lowe's so we can put them all up on the wall. All right, so phase 1 complete. You can see mounted it underneath and tightened them all down. There's that. All right, so the rest of the pipes did come in yesterday, so I painted them all. Unfortunately, I learned the hard way. They kind of bubbled, as you see. So I just laid it on thick so you don't even notice now. But I realized, I researched it, like, why is this bubbling so bad? The residue on the pipe reacts with the spray paint. So if you do it, just make sure to wipe down the pipes. All right, so now I'm ready to mount them to the wall. And the big thing I learned the hard way in the other room is not, when you screw them in, they're not always even. So you can see it kind of, I don't know if you can tell, it leans down a little bit. Just rotate it, find the side that's most even. That one looks pretty even. But what will happen, which happened in the other room, is the board sat on top and one side was boop, boop, boop. This side was tilted down. So that's why, like I said, rotate it until you get it even. And as well, just take a big level across and make sure you're even when you put your second one up. Thankfully, we bought our house brand new. So we did the pre-drywall walk. So I have a video of all this wall behind it. The main power line runs into the wall over here, so I know that. Over here, the cables do come in, but they're kind of in the middle, in between the studs. So I know where my stud is. Obviously, you can use a stud finder. I learned this from a contractor at work. If you shine a flashlight, a lot of times you can see where the nails were tapped in. I know on mine you could. Here you could see them tapped in. You know, if the wall's been painted a bunch of times, you probably won't be able to see it. But that way you know where to go. So I'm gonna start putting these bad boys in. And we actually switched the other thing too. Let me show you. So on the other one, I had been using these and they just weren't grabbing all the way. And I think because the screws actually weren't long enough, once you went through this, it wasn't pushing it out, and some of them were popping back out. Where with these, I have a longer screw to go with them. So even going through that, it's gonna pop those open better than these ones would. So pay attention when you're buying them to make sure that adding this and the drywall, it's gonna be thick enough to pop these open and actually lock on and not come out. All right, so done with this side and done with that side. So all I got left now is the top shelf. I'm gonna have one that runs all the way across. I have them down here, just trying to figure out how I'm gonna mount the mounts, and then gotta put these together, stain them, and I'll do the top, but wanted to at least get these done today. Okay, so for the pipes at the top, I actually consulted with my wife, and we did even on here and then split the difference between the middle, which worked out perfect. This one hit part of the stud, which is the one I was worried about because the main power into the house is right here. So it hit the stud, so we missed it. And then that one there, and then those two, and then I'll have to put these boards the best way to make sure they balance up there. I'll be figuring that out next. Okay, so I'm making the long board. I cut angles, used my liquid nails, and then nail gun in some support beams on the top side. Top side you won't see. And I don't have clamps, so I just threw 50 pounds of weights on each side to kind of hold it together. And then once it dries, I'll come back, flip it, and stain the other side. I probably won't stain the top because you won't see it. Just that front side and edge, just especially with all this hardware and everything. And I will have to put some wood putty in the cracks, but I'll show you that once we get to that.
Hi.
Hi. All right, so I came back, put the stainable wood filler in the gaps. It takes a couple hours to dry. Hopefully I'll be able to drop some stain on it tonight. This one and the other board, so that they'll be ready to go sometime tomorrow. Okay, so I went back and put it up on the shelf and measured, cut off my ends, and now I'm gonna stain it. This is because you see some of the nail guns from the little brace came through, so I gotta flatten these out. But then I'm gonna throw some stain on all of them, and probably 2 coats, hopefully. Cross your fingers and we'll be done. How about that? First coat's on, and as you can see, covers up that seal pretty good. I mean, if you look close, you'll know, but from far, it looks pretty good. You're not gonna notice when it's sitting up on that shelf. So I'm good with it. All right, so just about final touches here. Tried to get away with just painting the edge. Not painting, but staining, you saw when I was staining it. And standing back, you can see it. So I'm at least staining this top corner. So from a distance, you won't see back here, but you for sure see here. So once I finish this, that'll pretty much be it. There's actually a spot I put the hangers in wrong, so I had to mud it, and now I gotta sand it and paint it, but otherwise that'll be it. So you should see final project here pretty quick. All right, I hope you enjoy it. If you did, like that button, share it with your friends. Maybe one day they'll pay me to do this stuff. Who knows, right? Anyways, take care. Until next time. I mean, I hope we don't get a next time of this like Rona quarantine thing where I have to do this, but the next home project, right? That's what I meant.
With your encouraging words and your inspirational journey, I find myself reaching my personal goals I didn't even think were possible.
What I like most about Brandon is he's dedicated to what he does.